So I just want to introduce the motion to you at first. The motion's title is as follows. The Students' Union has no confidence in the patron of London Metropolitan University, Prince Andrew, Duke of York. The motion proposer is Philip Lynch and the seconder is Terrell Corridus.
So the big issue for us really is that Prince Andrew is our university patron. What that basically means is that he's linked high up in the governance of the university. He's seen as a representative of the university. I don't know if many of you watched the interview that he gave the other night. It wasn't great. And basically our issue is that how he's seen also affects us as a university and as an institution. So to put it in a bit of context, if one of you lot, for example, was involved in anything that was a bit sort of disputive or something like that, you'd be held to account by the university because you'll be putting the institution and its bad name and things like that. So basically, our motion was that this principle should apply to him, regardless of his title or who he is. He's still a representative of the university. So basically we put forward that he should be removed from this post, as it doesn't represent the university's values, the Students' Union values, or what we stand for together. You lot have a voice, and it's important that you use this voice. So the university vote on many, many big things, but it's important to get your view and your understanding of what you want from us, basically. It's up to you if you want to speak for or against. No one's going to judge anyone that says anything. It's up to you guys.
Once again, this is an open discussion. If you are against the motion, please feel free to speak up. We aren't here to judge, we're just here to listen. So, would anyone like to start off the discussion? Just put your hand up. Yes, sir.
My name's Barry Mehmet. I'm studying biomedical science foundation year. And I prepared a little something to say about my support of no confidence in Prince Andrew. First of all, I love the royal family. I think they're an amazing institution. So, whether your opinion is that we should have a republican system or not, that's entirely fine. I think elected heads of state are great as well. Can't hear me? I speak up.
Speak into the microphone.
I come and speak into the mic. First of all, we should be working with facts here. People are innocent until proven guilty, and there's been a lot of allegations where he's concerned. We should ignore those in this debate, and what we should look at are the facts. The facts are that this role model, this patron of our university, has been associating with, and at the time, a known sex offender. Somebody who was charged of multiple sex offences, and in his own words, was in the man's house, where it was like a train station, and this is a train station of young girls, underage kids, children. So for us to continue to associate with this man, I think is not in keeping with the London Met identity. I think he should be removed from being a patron as soon as possible.
The way I kind of look at it at the moment is that he hasn't actually been proven to have any culpability in what's happened. Yes, he was there and everything else, but he hasn't been proved. And the whole point of this country is that everyone is innocent until proven guilty. And we can throw accusations around. Yes, as a university, we have the responsibility to kind of protect the image of the university, which I completely respect and I understand. So what happens, for instance, down the line is if he's found to be completely innocent, didn't know anything else, is he then reinstated? That side of it. So for me, it's kind of, I'm on both sides of the story. Like, it's completely wrong, and it's the victims here that everyone has to think about. But he obviously, something happened, but whether we'll ever know that is another story. Judge and jury of them straight away, I don't think that's right. So that's what I've got to say.
I'm for that. I think he should go because it's a representation of the university. And for me personally, it's his friend. He should know something or have seen something. So it's not like I'm accusing him, but from past experiences or notions, show me your friends, and know who you are. And I stick to that, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if he's a duke, duchess, whoever, even the king is his friend, and he knows something.
So yeah, I'm Silke, I'm a PhD student, and my PhD is on childhood sexual abuse and survivor activism. I'm also a survivor of childhood sexual abuse myself, and I'm doing a lot of activism. I've spoken to over 100 survivors in the last years. And I think what I really want to say is I'm absolutely for this motion, and I'm really thank you for the Student Union to bring this on, because that meant a lot to me to see that. What I want to say is, obviously there's a reputation of the university, but I think what I want to kind of bring to this discussion is 1 in 5 children, according to the European Council of Human Rights, experience childhood sexual abuse. So you can check the number of students at this university, and then you can calculate the number of us who are affected personally. And I think I just want to kind of invite you to think about what that means for this huge number of students who have experienced childhood sexual abuse, to go into university every day and knowing that a person who is, and I don't care about what he, like we don't know what he has done or if he has done something, and I think the innocent proven guilty is something that we apply to decide if we put people into prison. It's not something we use to decide if we want people as our patrons. There's no human right to be a patron of a university like this, right? And I think right now, just kind of from the survivors' perspective, there's a huge community of survivors at this university who are maybe currently, who are used to their perpetrators being celebrated, a lot of people being friends with them, people going for dinner with them. A lot of us are currently considering if we're safe to go home for Christmas, or if we have to sit with our perpetrators or with people who are still friends with them. And I think I just want to invite you to kind of take that perspective and think, is that really what we want for our community? Never even mind the reputation outside of this community, but what does that mean for the students here? So thank you, I would like to keep it.
Just for the purposes of both perspectives, because I've seen it in both perspectives, and we've had debates as well in the office, and what we think is actually going on about judging. We can't judge, proven until guilty, but also then it doesn't define what's actually happening, because in the interview, they told him to make an interview. So when he did the interview, it clearly showed exactly what is going on in his mind. He said a few things where he lied. He also, didn't show his emotions. His NVC, his non-verbal communication, was very, just no remorse, nothing like that. And I believe in our university, we believe in diversity and liberated views. We're not for any of the views that have been put forward. I just want to thank everyone who is supporting our motion. And yes, thank you for a student body. Love this, social solidarity, yes.
It's nice the university wants to do this, but university has more important issues to be dealing with. We have tuition fees to deal with. We have so many things that affect us. This doesn't matter. I'm sorry that he's a patron here, but this doesn't matter to university in the long run, or to students in the long run. Because at the end of the day, we have so many issues to sort out. We have the environment to sort out. We have so many, why waste resources and time on things that someone else can deal with this. Someone else can deal with this. The university should be battling tuition fees and things that actually matter to students. This doesn't matter, okay. It matters to some, but majority of us are struggling with tuition fees on more important things. So I just think this is a waste of time, personally. Let someone else sort it out. There's many people who can sort it out. They're holding him accountable right now. Come on, he's a royal family. They're gonna get away with it. I'm sorry. This always happens when somebody in public figure does something bad. They get away with it because they're rich. They have the lawyers to handle it. They have the PR to handle it. So he's gonna get away with it anyway. So let's do things that actually matter. Thank you. But it's true.
Hello, I'm Harriet. Harriet Gilby. I am doing business management and marketing, 3rd year. In reply to your statement, you're right to hold your view. This is an emergency, and that's why we're holding it today. Yes, there's other issues that Student Union can be dealing with, and they'll deal with that in time to come. But look around you. These are young girls that Prince Andrew is accused of being associated with somebody who is abusing young girls, and like yourselves, like my nieces, it could be anybody in here, right? So it does apply to us, and if we don't do anything about it, who should? Yeah. It's our duty, and we're in the right. With regards to motion to remove Prince Andrew being our patron, absolutely, on the basis that if you remember, guilty by association still does exist right now, is in our law right now. So yes, he has not been proven to have done something that is, and probably will not be proven, because it's who the circle was. Will they come forward and testify to say, yes, we saw, his eyewitnesses committed suicide, other eyewitnesses might not be able to come forward, but it's more than that. It's us. We're standing here, we're sitting here, we're trying to get our degrees, and who we're associating ourselves with that piece of paper, and who is our patron? Oh, it's somebody who's been associated with having been involved or associated with a child abuser and rapist, and we can't be associated with that. If I was, or any of the lecturers were accused of the same things, you would not want that lecturer to be teaching you, right? So why can we not apply the same rule to our patron, who he represents us as a body?
You talked about the fact of the environment, and I know this isn't part of our emergency meeting, but I want to make you rest assured that the student union understands the issues that we're all facing: tuition fees, the environment. One of my points as a student council member is to start the London Met Green Clean initiative. I didn't bring that point up just to be elected. I brought it up because we're facing a climate crisis. And I understand that when we work as a community, we can bring global change. I just want to put that point in, that we're not just focusing on what the media is talking about, we're focusing on our community as well.
First of all, we are using our democratic rights here.
Yes.
And it's very important that the student union represents us in doing that. It shows that it is an active union. I'm also a grandmother of those alleged aged girls that may have been affected. I'm also moved and touched, because it could have been some of those young girls were in the Caribbean somewhere. So when you look at poverty, when you look at people, I mean, gosh, this could get so deep. So it does matter. Prince Andrew had a responsibility, because he carries that name, to make sure he's associating with the right people. Yeah. I'm not quick to jump and judge people. I hate when that happens, because if that was me, I wouldn't like to be judged. But he said categorically that he has no regret. Yeah. Yet the man was convicted of those offences. The man took his life. He must know why he did that. And I'm sorry, sadly, that he had to do it that way. I feel, but I think that it is right that we do look at Prince Andrew's position in this university, because we want this university to be taken seriously.
Yes.
And when people see that he's still up there as our patron, how is that going to look? Yeah? So I move for this motion, and thank you for bringing it, Philip.
Somebody mentioned as untouchable, there's a big block and suddenly it's gone. It's kind of like there's now room for other initiatives to be considered, because there's now a, this open. You can't get away with everything. There's a limit, and everybody becomes conscious. Actually, we gotta be aware now. We gotta be open. Things can be affected. They can be impacted. So, what is it that we would like to bring ourselves? We can't be all hidden and nobody can see what's happening. We can see what's happening, and that's where we can make a decision of, okay, this is where we would like to move together. Thank you.
Anything that Prince Andrew has been associated with, including abuse and sexual assault on women and minors, is absolutely unacceptable, and I don't think there can be any tolerance, and I don't think the uni or any of us through the uni should be associated with him. So I absolutely 100% support this motion, because there's no way that can remain to be a thing. Yeah.
We are fighting for the unheard, for the silence, for the marginalized voices, and if this is what the university stands for, then Prince Andrew should be revoked for being a patron.
If we keep him as our patron, it's as if we are funding for him to continue this association. Even if Jeffrey Epstein is dead now or committed suicide, it's as if we're continuing to support what he has said. It's just hypocritical into what all of the things that our university wants to help with in sexual offenders and things like that.
Guilty or not, if you bring the university into disrepute, you will be sanctioned, basically. So you'll be suspended and an interview come across. Guilt or innocence, doesn't matter. So just think about that when you're discussing. So yeah, he's not been found guilty of anything as of yet, but he's still bringing our name into national news and international news, and not for the right reasons. He's brought Huddersfield unis into the wrong reasons as well. So just think about things like that, whether it's guilt or innocence. Try and put that to the back of your mind and think, would I want this person to represent me, my institution, and what I believe? Just think about that.
There's the allegation of this 17-year-old girl, which has not surfaced here. So that makes me to support this motion 100%, that the untouchables should be touched now, so that this university maintains its values. Thank you very much. I support the motion 100%.
The motion is quite right. Not only removing him as our patron, he said, because I was reading about him this morning, that he regretted his misjudgment for associating with him. It's not enough. He should have known years of dealing with him, what his behaviors are.
I don't think that once you know who your associations are and what they're up to, and you still continue to involve yourself with their life, you still continue to become their friend and support them, even though you know that what they're doing is not right. I don't even think it's right, regardless of what your status is, whether you're president or whatever. It is not right for you to hold any position of power or any responsibility, in fact, if you're willing to associate yourself with somebody who does such matter.
So I don't think there was not even time to tolerate all that long, that duration of time. I think it's the best time, and also appreciate the way you did to call us in to make sure he can go home and go home for good, because this is too much wahala for everybody else.
Go for votes. A show of hands of who would like to take a vote now. Democracy decides. Yeah, so Eddie will now be taking care of the voting procedure for this motion.
Yeah, so it's fantastic turnout. We had well over 100 people turn out. We needed 96, which is 1% of the student population, to turn out and to cast a vote to make it eligible. And fantastically, we had 108 students vote yes to mandate the officers to bring it to the Board of Governors. We had no against, and we had one abstain. It was fantastic. I'd just like to thank all the students and staff that have turned up today. They've come out of their own backs, their own time. I'd also like to thank all the staff that allow the students to leave lectures early. It's not ideal, but I think it is very, very important that students have their voice and believe that their voice is heard. And it's just been a fantastic turnout, so thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Phil.
Cheers, thank you.